We're both going to die one day, but we're trying not to think about it.
We're weird, and we think it's important you realize that before you invest too much time in this video, because it's weird, like really weird. It's structurally and technically imperfect, and if I had a scent, it would be stale beer and incense.
We're weird? The weirdest you can get. But in a good way, in a way that may subvert your expectations.
For example, in exactly 34 seconds, Zed and I are going to start wrestling around on the ground, and then we're going to sit down, have a cold glass of kombucha and a slice of cake. Why? Because we're weird, and that is the transition we've decided on for this next scene.
I guess what we're trying to say is don't worry about getting everything, because there's nothing to get. There's no quiz at the end, nor is there any expectation for you to be anything for anyone else. But what we do invite you to be is a little bit vulnerable, because vulnerability is beautiful and important. In fact, it is essential for this to work.
In fact, we're doing all of this because we're trying to be a little bit more vulnerable. Vulnerability in its essence is weird, but that's why it's hard, because out there we survive by pretending like we're not weird. We survive by pretending like we're normal.
But in here we don't have to be normal, because we're making art. And the beautiful thing about art is it gives us an opportunity to be weird. Let's move those jacksies. Come on everybody, give us a clap. To acknowledge the fact that we all do think and say weird things, like Captain America and wattle seed soup and I'm a tiny cat, woohoo!
So in summary, it's going to get weird. Strap yourselves in, don't forget to read that safety manual, and don't be afraid to get a little bit vulnerable. Welcome to
What do you mean? Hey, I'm Zed,
And I'm Keely.
and welcome to our weird world.
Wow, what a convenient audio-visual segue.
It's another letter from the universe. Last time I checked the mailbox, I had 6 different parking fines.
But today, it seems to be a letter from the universe.
Life is a piece of cake, and we're all learning how to eat it. I wonder what that means.
I don't know.
I wonder what that means.
I don't know.
I wonder what that could possibly mean.
I have no idea.
I have no idea why we
I don't
continue to
know
get
why
these
we get
messages
these letters
from the universe.
From somewhere.
Somewhere they
How
just
do we even know it's the universe?
into our cardboard mailbox that we set up in our apartment.
That we don't even know if it's real or not.
But they just end up here, and then we need to create a whole show to try and process and understand what it could possibly mean.
Yeah,
Cake?
And I keep hearing the door open in the middle of the night, and I think someone's coming and putting them in here.
People come into it, they break into our apartment, high security apartment,
Yeah.
and they leave notes in our cardboard letterbox.
It's weird.
But we've got to create a show
We do, because we owe it to this letter.
to make a show.
To make a show.
It's 13.8 billion years ago. There is nothing. Bang, now there is something, be it by the hands of an almighty creator, a precursor to consciousness, or a tiny little fireball, something that expands, that gets bigger, more complex, more real. It keeps expanding. Vast nothingness becomes vast gas and dust. Pressured by gravity becomes planets and stars, becomes a series of interconnected things, some now known, many still unknown, becomes life, a clear delineation between something and nothing, becomes an ever-expanding system on the macro and the micro, amoebas, organisms, oranges, orangutans, orgasms, expansions and contractions, consciousness. Not just the ability to look back at the past 13.7 billion years, but to name it, to call it things, to share stories and map meanings, to define and seek out order amongst the chaos, to face off with this internal instinct for control and this external universe that is so vast in every direction that if you think about it too much, your brain starts to hurt. The universe, just like everyone you know, started with a bang. It all starts with a bang, a synapse firing, an idea, a moment, an explosion of emotion, a sudden sensation, a kiss, a touch, a sucker punch to the gut, an electric shock, the death of a family dog, bang, 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 order and chaos, expansion and extraction, something from nothing.
All right, let's simplify things. This is us, a tiny speck on a piece of butcher's paper. Now, we only get one shot at this life, you see, and the problem we're facing is not that we're lacking meaning, but rather we have so much meaning, we don't know what to do about it. Now, we've kind of tricked ourselves into becoming human doings rather than human beings. Our sense of self-worth is now tied to external things, and our systems for values are confused and overwhelmed, kind of like a tiny little duck that stumbled upon a freeway of thoughts and ambitions. God, it does just make me want to shove your face into a piece of cake.
It definitely does. But I guess the beautiful thing is all of these things are within our control, and they ultimately come down to how we choose to spend our time. But before we dive into the rabbit hole of time, let's check in with one of our favourite sponsors.
Have you been struggling to tackle and grapple the nine-headed, acid-spitting beast called time management?
Boy, do we have the thing for you.
We've actually been working with a range of experts in the fields of methods, madness, and methodologies to create a structure we like to call the 5 C's.
It's basically a framework that allows you to take all of those internal feelings you're having and your ambitious ideas and turn them into something positive for you and the world.
By investing in your consciousness, curiosity, creativity, connection, and community, you can finally feel all those sensations of a well-rounded human being.
And look, we know what you're thinking. Oh, I don't want a 3-hour morning routine or a 37-minute ice bath. Well, that's the good thing, because ultimately all you need is a convenient array of C words.
Invest in your consciousness.
Curate your curiosity.
Create things.
Like funny YouTube shows in front of cardboard sets.
Oh, build connections.
And develop a community of people that make you feel alive.
Is it really that simple?
Absolutely not. No, life is a roller coaster of constant ups and downs, and it will continue to challenge you. So anyone that offers you a one-size-fits-all solution to the meaning crisis is probably a narcissist and just wants your money. Good. I think
way better.
We didn't get sucked into the characters too much there.
No.
Still communicate the fact, this is satire. It is making fun of the sort of social media selling industry, but at the same time, we do live by the 5 C's.
No, we love it. I think we really conveyed that during that, and I think really people will understand that for sure.
I think I'll get where we're coming from with that one.
So, awesome. Kombucha?
Kombucha. Let's have a cold kombucha.
Cool.
Cold kombuchas. Let's go.
Do you know what that makes me think about?
About how we're sold all of these ideas about who we should be, how we should spend our lives, how we should spend our time and money, when in reality, life is more like an absurd game show where the questions are more interesting than the answers.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking about.
Hello and welcome back to Life is a Piece of Cake, the game show where we make our cake and explain it too. My name is Regina and I will be your host today. I'd love to introduce you to our guest. This is Smeg and his pet egg, Sven. I'll take that. Thank you so much. The category today, origins of the meaning crisis. How are you feeling about that topic?
It scares me a little bit, but I'm definitely ready. I do love this show.
Excellent, I love to hear it. All right, we'll jump straight in. Question 1 for 11 points. Chicken or the egg?
Great first question. I have been thinking a lot about this because I've been wondering whether the meaning crisis is caused by the decline in traditional religion or if traditional religions have declined because of the meaning crisis. I guess meaning is in all circumstances a chicken or egg conundrum. There's all of these different ways in which we could look at the world. AI, spiritualism, religion, contemporary, ancient philosophy. But I think ultimately we all get left asking the same age-old question, how long is a piece of string? When the reality is we should be asking a much simpler question. And that question is, how am I? Am I okay? Let's forget about the chickens and the eggs and all of the different meaning-making devices and apparatuses we have in our modern world and simply lean back and ask ourselves, am I okay? What do I need to be okay? Am I okay?
Ka-ching! Seems that's all we have time for today, guys. Let's eat cake. Cheers, Smeg.
Cheers.
Thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me.
We'll see you next time.
Bye.
Wow, that was weird.
Yeah, it was.
But Snake did make some very good points.
Yeah, I guess it's often hard to articulate things like meaning and consciousness and all of the other big words he used because words don't always capture them perfectly.
Sometimes it's easier to feel things through experiential things like music.
Another notification. A constant hum of digital static. Thousands of messages swirling in the deep, spilling into the alleyways of my mind. I hit the button unsubscribe. Relentlessly unsubscribe. My fingers callous on the keys. A tsunami wave flooding the screen. Deactivate, disconnect.
Okay, that's enough dancing.
Mr. Time, welcome.
Hello.
So lovely to meet you.
Lovely
so
to meet
lovely
you.
to have you.
Oh, thank you.
Hello, and welcome back to the Very Serious Podcast, where all of our guests have enough money to be spiritually enlightened.
I have a very strict morning routine. You ever done an ice bath?
How come when I'm having dinner with my friend Sally,
Yes.
time goes...
Very, very slowly.
Yes.
Is that cake in your hand?
From time to time I do like a slice of cake.
But when I go to SeaWorld
Yes.
and I watch the penguins
Yes.
do their show
Oh yes.
and they flap about in the water.
Yes. And they're trapped.
10-letter word, endlessly going into the void.
I do like cake. I do like cake from time to time.
Wow, I never realised time had so much to say.
I never realized time was just a man with a clock on his chest.
You know, I struggle a lot with time.
Me too. I never quite know how to spend it.
I feel like I missed out on so many core moments in my early 20s because I was never fully present. I was so obsessed with the future.
I feel like there's so many memories I'd like to relive, so many places and people I dream about visiting again.
I know, it's so hard sometimes not to get stuck in the past.
Just as hard not to get sucked into the future.
I guess the truth of the matter is all we're ever really going to have is right now.
Makes you think the whole point of life is just to simply enjoy the passage of time.
You ever think about walking backwards?
Brought to you by the Walking Backwards Committee of Australia.
The world is screwed.
Horrible things, terrible things, war, death, famine, overpriced meat.
An emotional brick in my pocket that is tearing the seams of my pants.
I am scared. My mum is scared. My mum thinks that this AI-generated video of me is real.
It's not, Mum.
Mass conformity, a world of constant stimulation that makes you feel like you need to be a robot to succeed.
I just found out that babies are born without kneecaps. My mind is blown on a daily basis.
But fear not, revolutionary friends, for we have founded a movement.
We found a sacred text in a shipwreck that outlines our path to salvation.
The sacred art of walking backwards. Wow.
Ooh,
Oh, yeah.
walking backwards.
They want you to keep walking forwards off the cliff of freedom down into the pit of consumerism and consumption and Christmas miracles that never come true.
So stop. Do not abide by their rigid, structured operating systems. Leave the ordinary.
Embrace your extraordinary. Walk backwards into the lightness of your becoming.
You can be in a living aged care commercial. Life can be a walk in the park.
Reversed. I think that's enough television for today.
Yeah, my brain hurts.
Yeah, meaning can do that to you. There's so many different frames and movements and philosophies out there that sometimes it's hard to know where to get your meaning from, when in reality, we all need to take a step back and remember life doesn't have to be so serious.
Yeah, I guess life really is like a cake. Except I don't know how to bake or eat and my teeth are falling out.
Exactly. Life is chaotic and we're not meant to have it all figured out.
Maybe it's not about the perfect afternoon tea and more about the utter absurdity of learning to exist.
Because the truth of the matter is we only get one shot at this life. And if we spend all of our time worrying about how to do everything perfectly, we're going to miss out on that beautiful weirdness of being human.
Now, all we have is this weird mind and strange body and crazy world, so we may as well sit back, enjoy the simplicity of a cup of tea and a slice of cake.
And I guess that's all we have time for. So until next time.
Whatever that means.
Goodbye.
Bye.
See ya.
Have a nice day.
Yeah, have the best time.
Oh, have such a good day.
Awesome.
Can we stop waving now?
Yeah.
Can we eat the cake?
Yeah.
What do you mean, you silly little thing? A piece of bone and flesh and things, a creature of thought, of weird ideas, a moment of stillness, eyes and ears. What do you mean? Tell me, what do you mean? What do you mean? What the heck does any of this mean?
Hey, it's me, Exposition Alley. I bet you're wondering, what the heck happened in that last scene? Well, it was a metaphorical analysis of what it's like to be alive in this modern technological world. Anyway, cue the next scene.